Member satisfaction and retention and bonds building. Diagnostic, insight, and strategic implementation plan. This presentation is about my applied research project called Member Satisfaction and Retention Improvement Research Project, completed for bonds building. The purpose of this presentation is to explain the research findings, show how the data was collected, the analysis, and confirm the final recommendation for improving member satisfaction and retention and the center. The research objective was to investigate the main factors that affect member satisfaction and retention and bond fitness scales, and to identify practical recommendations that can help improve the member experience and reduce avoidable cancellation. This objective was confirmed when relevant stakeholders during the first meeting where the agreed focus was service quality, communication, staff support, and class availability and member follow-up. For this research, a user evaluation reserved as the main applied research method. This was stable because I was reviewing the current service and communication practice and the bond's fitness to identify what is working well and what can be improved. I also use an individual approach because I collect the data first and then look at patterns and themes from the results rather than assuming the conclusion before review the evidence. The data was collected from 20 valid anonymous member survey responses, 4 staff contributor feedback summaries, not identifiable member feedback, trends, and general attendance Google Forms. And the data was exported into Google Sheets for cleaning, validation, and analysis. Staff feedback was collected from relevant contributors who understand the daily member experience and bond fitness. Before the analysis, the results, I complete a data integrity check during the check and identify one duplicate server response and 3 incomplete response. These records were removed excluded from the final dataset. I also checked the Google Sheets analysis tool. I found one formula range issue, the one consists response level issue. These were correct before the final analysis was complete. After that correction, the final dataset was considered valid in the research task. The results showed that overall member satisfaction and bond fitness out of 20 value response, 15 members said they were satisfied or very satisfied with the center's the staff support was also one of the strongest areas, with 50 members saying they felt supported or very supported when they need assistance. This shows that the center as a good foundation is customer service and staff interaction. Based on the analysis, the first possible trend is that the member are generally satisfied with both fitness, but communication and class ability are weaker than staff support. This trend is occurring because in a pair in the clinic supervised data and also supervised by staff feedback. This is important because stakeholders wanted practical findings that could be used to improve the member experience. The second possible trend is that the members who fulfill support by staff are more likely to show a positive intention to continue their memberships. This trend was supported by the survey results and staff comments. It showed that friendly service guides and follow up can influence member loyalty and motivation. What is the working well? Overall member satisfaction is positive, staff support is a definite operational strength, friendly service is successfully attuned and loyalty anchor. One needs immediate attention in both fitness. Communication regarding operation chance lack clarity, class availability caps are actively dampening satisfaction, incomplete and the new member fallout process and inconsistent. Immediate action plan, the communication and follow-up process. Step 1, execute clear updates. Implement short follow-ups is step 2. And step 3, establish monthly reviews. For further research, I recommend that it's important that both fitness first investigate class table preference and peak hour demand in more detail. This should include a large sample of member and groups attends that over a less than 6 months, members and groups attends data over 6 months. This would help the center understand which class times, format, and peak periods affect satisfaction and retention more. The target too is the first 30 days is important that the new member experience. This is because new members may need more guidance, support, and follow up when they are building their fitness routines. Is Bounce Fitness understand the early member experience better. It can design and standard onboarding process and possibility improve retention. And the third is the cross-location comparison for future research into comparing member satisfaction across the different bonds fitness locations. This would help identify whether the issues found in bonds fairness and local issues on par with their organization partner. In conclusion, the research found that the bonds fairness case has generated positive member experience, especially in staff support and overall satisfaction. However, communication, class availability, peak hours demand, and complaint follow-up need improved. The findings are practical and consistent with the record confirmed by stakeholders. The final recommendation is to improve the member communication and follow-up first, and to complete future research into class timetable and preference peak hour demand.